My granddad asked me questions on, what are your interests? At the time, I really enjoyed creativity, interested in space and place and how people use space. His sort of take on that was, if I'm interested in design and making and places and spaces, have I ever considered architecture? So I was born in the UK and I moved to Ghana when I was 5. I think that in itself wasn't necessarily disruptive. What was disruptive was that not long after that, my dad fell ill and sadly passed. And I think in that period, I definitely became a lot more shy and reserved. I had decided that, yeah, cool, architecture seems like an interesting coming together of all of my interests. So yeah, that's what I want to do. There was no consideration of practicalities of what that meant to be in education for that long. I was definitely ill prepared for the university setting. I actually had to do a lot of resits and resubmissions all throughout my part 1. Following that, I found it super hard to find a job. I remember finishing part 2 and just resolving not to be so concerned with getting the traditional experience. I kind of was adamant to try and meet more people, and that could help me and support me. I met Selasi during that period of time, and she was actually the first Black woman architect that I had met or known.
My name's Selasi and I'm an architect. I think I've been in architecture for about 50 years. It's a very complicated profession, and I think to cut a straight path towards your aims and ambitions it's a hard thing to do for young people. To me, the future seems bright because the profession is becoming more and more diversified. I think it's really important to hang on to the fact that you can't take progress for granted, and that you have to be vigilant. Not just open the door for yourself, but be a gatekeeper for other people, which clearly Selasi has done with Black females in architecture.
After a few months, it was kind of like there's maybe 30-something people in the group chat. Currently we have close to 500 members globally, mostly based in the UK, but we have a global membership. The year after, we decided to register the company, Black Females in Architecture, as a company. We would also describe it as an organisation that is a social enterprise and seeking to, I guess in essence, increase the visibility of Black women in the built environment industry. So I believe at the end of 2021, I received a letter notifying me that I had been nominated to receive an MBE for services to diversity in architecture. Had many discussions with friends and family around whether or not I should accept it. Ultimately decided that I would accept it, less really about myself, but more so for the sort of furtherance of this work in helping to advocate for diversity and equity in the built environment profession. I hope that the honour can help sort of further the cause. And yeah, that's the story of the MBE. From working with Elsie, I came via public practice to work for Be First Regeneration, which is the London Borough of Barking and Dagenham's wholly owned development and regeneration company. My job ranges from providing design advice to my planning colleagues on different scales of projects, small scale projects like house extensions to larger scale master plans. The key thing that I like to say about my role is that I'm working for the local authority of Barking and Dagenham, and I was born and raised and still live in Barking and Dagenham. What I find the most rewarding is being able to contribute to the development of a place that I was born and raised in and still live in. Wherever my career to date has taken me, I think it's more advocacy and more work in diversifying the profession. My advice to someone thinking about studying architecture would be to keep open-minded. Don't limit yourself to a sort of too much blind focus, I guess. Be open to pivoting and taking a different approach or an unconventional route through your journey.